Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, honoured guests. It gives me great pleasure to formally declare the AGM open. I'm Nadia Singh, the Events and Digital Manager at the Chamber, and this afternoon I'm joined by the incredibly dapper Sibu Ganka and Dave Zimmerman as my co-hosts.
Thanks, Nadia. It's incredibly awesome to be here today. I'm Dave Zimmerman, the Membership Manager at the Chamber, and I am waiting in anticipation for the magic to unfold.
Well, Dave, if the entertainment is as good as the numbers, I'm sure we're in for a treat. My name is Sibu Ganka, and I'm the Financial Manager at the Chamber, and I'm really looking forward to engaging with everyone this afternoon.
So, for this afternoon, and you've joined us from your mobile phone, please turn your camera off. Please engage with us on the chat functionality that you will find on the screen. And most importantly, in the box that you received, you will find your magical card with your lucky number. Hold on to this until the very end of the AGM to find out if you are a lucky winner. Like a road trip without a GPS, a meeting without an agenda would go really bad. I'd like to welcome Sid Paler, Executive Director, to confirm the agenda for this afternoon. Sid.
Thank you, Nadia. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to confirm our agenda for today. Before I do that, I'd like to also confirm that we are correct. We are in excess of 5% of our member base. If I could now call on a proposer and a seconder to confirm the agenda for today. I've got a proposer, Rabia Ahmad, and I've got a seconder, Kim Phillies. Thank you.
Thank you, Sid. Sid will now confirm the minutes of our last AGM. Sid?
Thanks, Nadia. If I could please get confirmation of the minutes of the annual general meeting of the Cape Chamber of Commerce and Industry held on the 21st of November 2019. These minutes were circulated to all members, and if there are no objections, a call for the proposer and a seconder. I have a proposer, Richard van Husselen. Thank you, Richard, and a seconder, Grant Whittaker. Nadia, thank you. I now hand over to Sibu and Peter Ross for the report on our financial statements.
So thank you. I would like to now welcome Mr. Peter Ross, our Honorary Treasurer, who will now present our 2020 annual financial statements. Over to you, Peter.
In business, and in fact, in any enterprise like our Chamber of Commerce, finance is the lifeblood of the business. Without it, things would simply not run smoothly, if at all. It is in fact the source to run any organization. It provides the money and it acquires the money. The finance function involves the acquiring and utilization of funds necessary for efficient operations. It is a central element in the organization and can be likened to the hub of a wheel. All other departments are very important, but if you seek the most important function of all, finance is definitely the central one. And that is why the annual financial statements occupies an important slot in the agenda of any AGM. Anyway, so much for the philosophical lecture. Thanks, Confucius. We will now look at the main numbers for the financial year ending 30th June 2020. The first financial slide relates to income received for the year ending June 2020. You will note the following. Subscriptions increased by 43%. While this was driven partially by the justified release of prior year deferred revenue, Our partnership with Mercedes-Benz also resulted in a number of new members being recruited. Certification fees increased by 10%. This arose as a result of increased certification volumes relating to exports of foodstuffs and vegetable products from July 2019 to February 2020, which was the beginning of the COVID lockdown. Functions and seminars reduced by 36%. This was mainly attributable to the COVID lockdown in the last 4 months of the year. The Chamber had to adapt to functions being held virtually. Online attendance fees were obviously lower as a result. The overall result was an increase in total Chamber revenue by 16% to 15.1 million rand. This slide represents a summary of the Chamber's expenses for the year. I comment as follows. Salaries and consulting fees represent the biggest expense of the Chamber, being 63% of the overall total. Happily, we recorded an overall reduction in these expenses of 5% year on year. This was mainly attributable to the use of an external service provider, Marathon Finance, who helped us to bridge the gap between the departure of our previous financial manager in 2019 and the recruitment of his replacement, Sibu Ganka. The 2020 levels are hence back to normal. Membership recruitment costs reduced by 60%. This was mainly attributable to the allocation of the monthly amounts paid to our brands communication company, TR Communications, in the period. This relatively expensive contract was terminated in 2019. Postage and telephone costs increased by 145% during the year. This represents equipment lease costs, which were previously allocated to another expense category in 2019. This resulted in the increase this year, together with an increase in airtime costs as a result of operations going digital. Rent shows an increase of 26% in the year. This arose as a result of the early termination of the office rental contract at the Chamber's offices in Martin Hammerslag Way. A settlement amount of 1 million rand was agreed and settled in June 2020. This has resulted in monthly savings of approximately 200,000 rand going forward. This slide represents the so-called bottom line of the Chamber. I comment as follows. It is very pleasing to report that the Chamber recorded an operating profit for the year of 530,000 rand for the year, compared to last year's operating loss of 2.6 million rand. This is the culmination of what was discussed in the previous slides. Interest and dividends received reduced by 77%. Only the investment income from the managed portfolio was recognized in the current year. In the prior year, income from the unitized ring-fenced funds was also included in income. A profit of 113,000 rand was recorded on the sale of assets. However, a loss of 412,000 rand was made on the following two items: the writing off of leasehold improvements at the Chamber's offices when the lease was terminated. Secondly, the write-off of website development costs, which were previously being amortized on an annual basis. GlueUp has become the new service provider. The net result was a surplus for the year of 532,000 rand compared to last year's deficit of 1.3 million rand.
It's now on. Thank you. Okay.
The balance sheet summary is the main focus on this slide. Property, plant and equipment reduced during the year due to depreciation and the write-off of leasehold improvements as reported earlier. Investments are mainly equity securities and unit trust portfolios held with 3 asset management companies. Figures are often net additions and disposals during the year and using adjusted values as at financial year end. Net current assets represents trade and other receivables and cash equivalents. Total liabilities includes trade payables, deferred revenue, and certification deposits held. The Chamber's balance sheet remains strong with accumulated reserves of 23.9 million rand, which is more or less in line with last year. So just in closing, the Chamber had a reasonably good year in the financial year ending 30th June 2020. So let's bask in that glory for a short while. The current financial year ending June 2021 is proving to be more difficult from a financial perspective. COVID-19 has and continues to have an impact on both our members and also ourselves. I've dealt with this aspect in the Honorary Treasurer's report in the annual financial statements, which was circulated prior to the AGM. That concludes the financial report. Thank you. Please log any questions or comments in the online chat feature, and we will do our best to answer your questions. I now call for a proposer. Thank you. And a seconder. Thank you.
I second that, Eric. Thank you.
Thank you to Peter Hugo and Eric Leongson for being both the proposer and seconder, respectively, for the acceptance of the 2020 annual financial statements. Over to you, Peter. Over to you, sorry, Dave.
So we just want to confirm if you have any questions for the financial statements to the Zoom room. No questions. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sibu. Auditors may not always be the best people in the world to work with, but in our case, we're extremely lucky to be working with some of the best in the business. I now hand over to Mr. Peter Ross to confirm the auditors for the new financial year. Peter.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now move on to the next item on our agenda, which is the appointment of the auditors. BDO South Africa were appointed as our auditors in 2018. They took over from the previous auditors, KPMG. The remuneration paid in 2020 amounted to 219,000 Rand, an 8% increase on last year's fees. The board and chamber management are very satisfied with the services which they have rendered during the past year. We would accordingly propose that we reappoint BDO as our auditors for the coming year. Could I please have a proposer? Thank you. And a seconder. Thank you very much. And their appointment is here duly approved for the next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. And thank you to Rustem and Pauline for proposing and seconding that. Do we have any questions for Peter on the appointment of the auditors Zoom room? Thank you. No questions. Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, we will now be addressed by our President, Ms. Jeanine Myrick.
Good afternoon to all our dignitaries, the Consular Corps, with special mention to the Consul General of Japan, the Consul General of Germany, the Consul General of Namibia, the Consul General of India, the Consul General of Zimbabwe, the Consul General of Brazil, and Minister Shana Fernandez, Minister of Social Development. Our board members, our council members, the Chamber Secretariat, and most importantly, our Chamber members online. I want to start off by thanking my predecessor, Jeff Jacobs, for his service to the Chamber, in whose place I filled since October 2020. Making a third farewell address as the President of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry must be setting some kind of record. Yet here I am again saying goodbye and good luck to the next incumbent. As they say, there is no rest for the wicked. The media certainly made sure of it of late. The Chamber of Commerce and Industry is the first port of call for journalists when requiring a comment on breaking news. Making this year as particularly memorable was that it coincided with the COVID pandemic and the dreadful impact it has on businesses hitting the smallest, the hardest. Within days, the tourism industry in the Cape shuddered to a halt. Staff paid by the hour were sent home in droves. Restaurants unable to serve liquor saw their clientele vanish. By the end of the first month, the sector was on its knees. Bottle stores closed, township clubs closed, group celebrations of any kind that continued were forcibly dispersed by the police and the army. When international air travel was halted, it put an end to any hopes for respite from the end of the year tourism season. It wrecked many wine-taking tours and virtually shut down the garden route. The Chamber was called on to comment on everything that went wrong in the handling of COVID-19. Mostly these mistakes came from the sledgehammer approach of the COVID Command Council. Its policy was to act in haste and regret at leisure. Again, the regret was mostly felt by the private sector. On the other hand, all of our numerous public servants were sent home on full pay. Unfortunately, dealing with government took even longer than it normally did. At various times, we had bans on exporting wines and grapes and an end to liquor and tobacco sales, variable curfews, the closure of beaches and restaurants, and on one spectacular occasion, an attempt to govern what kind of t-shirt we could buy and what kind of pants and footwear we could buy. The effect of COVID on business is, of course, no laughing matter, and I'm proud to say that the Chamber worked miracles in adjusting its way of working. We were soon working from home and running training courses instead of face-to-face meetings. Now, all of us in the private sector must begin to face the tremendous task of rebuilding an economy that was already teetering on the brink before COVID hit. The challenges are enormous. One of the biggest will be taking on the vast illicit economy that has taken advantage of government controls on legitimate enterprises. As always, the private sector's preferred weapons will be service, quality, choice, and price. However, crime continues to be the major challenge of many of our members, the extent of which was highlighted by a SNAP survey the Chamber carried out. As the year progressed, we saw a rise in robberies and an alarming spread and escalation of protection rackets. In such time, it is always a temptation to insist that the state plays a larger role. But, ladies and gentlemen, the prime function of the state is to protect its citizens and their property. We should be mindful, once invited in, governments tend to stay on as an unwelcome guest who are full of ideas of how we should run our own business. This is not to say there is not a role for the state in an economic recovery. For example, a crackdown on the illicit economy would be welcome. This has grown by leaps and bounds during the lockdown, dealing a heavy blow to legitimate taxpayers in the retail trade in particular. Illicit trading in cigarettes, for example, which was around 25 to 28% of the market before the lockdown, afterwards jumped to a staggering 100% where the legal selling of cigarettes was banned. The Treasury lost an estimated 6.5 billion in liquor tax, slightly less than the loss from the ban on tobacco, which was estimated to be 8 billion rand. That is an estimated loss of 15.5 billion rand. Prime among the government's duty of care must be sorting out the state-owned enterprises, which have become a bottomless pit, sucking in the taxpayers' money. Leading the queue for reform should be Eskom. There are also the others that are just as big a worry. The Development Bank of South Africa, PRASA, Denel, SABC and Transnet. And how can we forget our flightless bird, SAA? And then, ladies and gentlemen, there's the elephant in the room, the rampant corruption in the public service. Evidence to the Zondo Commission has stripped the cover of this festering illness in the body politic. It is no exaggeration to say that the strength of our Constitution, the survival of an independent judiciary, and the hard-won freedoms that culminated in 1994 are at stake. Much depends on how the highest court in the land reacts to the blatant disdain shown for the law by the former president. On top of that, we face the massive task of resetting the economy post-COVID-19. Dangers lurk here as well. Much of what is suggested looks unpleasantly like developing a corporate state where business is subsumed into a cozy alliance with bureaucracies at all levels of government, with the consumer left to the mercy of regulatory pricing. Worse still is the intention to ram through the expropriation bill that will allow bureaucrats to confiscate any private property without compensation, independent of courts or the rights embedded in the Constitution. Meanwhile, it has become even more obvious that this year that most South Africans have yet to face the fact that governments of whatever stripes do not create wealth. It is the private sector that creates the wealth. It is only when the cupboards are well and truly bare that this will truly be understood. So as we grin and bear the oncoming potential of a third wave of COVID-19 infections, restrictions, we have to mourn the demise of so many people. We mourn the loss of so many small and medium enterprises that have gone to the wall in the last 10 months. The loss and the cost in human and material terms has yet to be finally calculated. That said, ladies and gentlemen, one thing about South African entrepreneurs is that we are resilient and we have the ability to bounce back innovatively from adversity, certainly faster than any government in seeing and seizing a business opportunity. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to stop here. And I want to thank the board members of the Chamber who have shown immense commitment and exceptional fortitude throughout this crisis. And I want to thank the Secretariat for the smooth sailing of this ship. Without them, we could not do it. And it is now my distinct pleasure to announce the board who has been elected for 2021. And I'd like to start with Diane Boerman from Brand Analytics, Darren Brigg from Darren Brigg Consulting, Paul Hotnady from Profit Lab, Nazima Jaffe from UCT, Oksana Khan for Indoor by Design, Jeremy Marilia by Combined Fishing Enterprises, Jock Moorman from Tsogo Sun, Janine Myberg Attorneys Incorporated, Sid Paymer, the Chamber Executive Director, Peter Ross, Active Pro Business Solutions, and Tilman von Sivkovsky, Efficient Wealth. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I also have the pleasure to announce the Executive Committee for 2021. I'll be serving as immediate past president, Peter Ross as treasurer for another term, and our vice president for 2021 is Darren Brigg from Darren Brigg Consulting. And if I had a drum roll now, I am very proud and extremely excited to announce that our president for 2021 is Jock Moorman from Tsogo Sun, who can come forward so that I can formally hand over to him and that I can assure Jock of our full support. If I may ask Jock to come forward, please. Just let's go. I'm not allowed to give you a hug. I would love to, but I can't. Yes, you're still on speaker and we can give you a hug. And congratulations. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with great sadness that I have to report that we lost an icon yesterday, one of our very own, Dr. Gerald Woolman, a past president of 2007 to 2008, unfortunately passed away. I'd like to ask that we have a minute's silence for him, as well as for everybody that has lost their life in the COVID-19 pandemic.
Thank you, Janine, for that inspiring and encouraging message. Thank you. I would now like to call upon our Executive Director, Mr. Sid Paymer, for his address.
Good afternoon to all honored guests, members, staff, stakeholders, and partners. A new buzzword has entered our lexicon. The buzzword is pivot. To be sustainable or even to thrive during these times, one has to be flexible and hyper-vigilant to opportunities. Essentially, to pivot at a moment's notice. It's not easy. No change is easy, especially when you feel pressed into it. However, the Chamber has fortunately been prepared, and as we have seen with the financial results that Peter presented earlier, good fortune is where opportunity meets the prepared mind. The most important preparation, I feel, was mindset. Due to our focus on innovation as the competitive currency of today, the team at the Chamber was well prepared. We also understand that if you're not evaluating your value proposition on a frequent basis, your competition is. Usually, after an AGM, we would lament the state of the economy over refreshments. However, suffice it to say that once the pandemic has subsided, and eventually it will, we will still be left with state-owned enterprises sucking us dry and a social infrastructure in need of intensive care. We spend enough time on this during the year, so I will not elaborate now. The Chamber has continued with a steady influx of new members, thanks to the great work done by the Chamber team. But we are also an attractive option because for the cost of a packet of chips a day, where can an organization get the assurance of a Chamber support and a list of value offerings in excess of 24 contemporary benefits? Nowhere else that I know. At the last AGM, I provided some form of optimistic prognosis for the future by sharing the net profit of the 4 months after the financials up to the AGM. The figures were encouraging and it was somewhat predictive for the year, allowing a positive result in spite of 4 of the 4 months in the financials being lockdown months. So what is the prediction for the future or until the next financial results due at the end of June? Well, we know what works, pivoting and innovation. We have already initiated new and unique projects. The Work Readiness Program that prepares final year graduates for the working world being just one. Our strategy of engagement proceeds unchanged and its efficacy can be seen with an increase on average to 250 events per annum, although be they mostly virtual at the moment. The forecast until June 2021 shows a deficit of 1.5 million rand. This might be well within our reserves, but there lies my challenge on the financial front, finding 1.5 million by the end of June. But I have a secret weapon. I have a team who are exceptional, and we will not give up without a good, clean, but tenacious fight. So thank you so much to the team. In closing, I have had 2 presidents this past year. A big thank you to both Jeff Jacobs and Janine Myberg for their ongoing support. Also, the support of the board, the numerous committees, and last but not least, our partners and members. We are here for you, and it is an honor to be of service. Thank you.
Thank you, Sid, for that illuminating address. 2021.
Thanks, Sibu. We have had the board members mentioned previously. Thank you, Janine. The Portfolio Committee Chair and Vice Chair, Grant Whittaker, Hilary Brinkhuis, John Chabalala, Amrish Bassoon, Alana James, Stefan Smuts, Kim Phillies, Jeremy Marilia, Stefan Rogovsky, Ramona Gounden, Peter Haylett, Fulu Mputi, Eric Longsong, Jennifer Mars, Diane Berman, Nomfundo Kalana, Peter Hugo, and Yazid Abrams. For the chapter representatives, we have Rabia Ahmad, Sadika Barnes, Dan Snyder, Annika Nell, Amanda van der Merwe, Howie Freiling, Ntobeka Boyana, Natasha Wachet, Rolinda Schultz, Mary Jean Thomas Johnson, Pauline Nell, Jason Kruger, Kwesi de Villiers, Richard van Huislen, Richard Daniel, Chris Voisey, and Jennifer Mars. For members elected by the membership, it's Nick Cronje, John Middleton, Steve Reed, Rastim Arifdin, Richard van Huislen, Peter Haylett, Moira Mahon, Gerard Swart, Zakira Palekar, and Douglas Blackmore. I have two more. The recent past presidents of the Chamber is Janine Meyerberg, Michael Bagram, Fred Jacobs, and Jeremy Wiley. And my last set, last but not least, are the board subcommittees. Amrish Bassoon, Brett Hamilton, Peter Ross, Sibu Ganka, Sid Paymer, Tolman Fonzagalski, Anton Schultz, Jason Hamilton, Anand Bansi, Christian Forster, Fayaz Mohammed, Fulu Mputi, Darren Brigg, Gerard Swart, Jacques Wolman, Paul Hotnadi, Jeremy Morelia, Lily Barrington, Guy Whitcroft, and Nazima Jappi. If I could please have a proposer and a seconder for council. I have received a proposer and a seconder. The proposer, excuse me, is Ramona Gounden, and the seconder is Kwesi de Villiers.
Thank you, Sid.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, it gives me great pleasure to call up our newly elected president, Mr. Jacques Mormon, to present his inaugural address.
Past presidents, council members, consul general, consular corps, guests, good afternoon. Foremost, I wish to commend the effort and good work of our predecessors, past presidents, boards, and councils for the progress and development of this organization. The reason why we are all here today is because of their hard work, dedication, and doing so generously and freely over many years. I am most honored and humbled to be elected president of the Cape Chamber, and with the help and support of the board, council, members, I will do my best to meet the challenge. Congratulations to each of the new board members, council members, chairpersons, and vice chairpersons. Our members have shown their confidence in you and me by electing us to our respective positions, and I look forward to serving with you. The board and I, on behalf of the Cape Chamber, wish to extend an enormous and heartfelt thank you to our past president, Janine Meyerberg, for leading the Chamber not simply to weather some stormy seas, but to emerge stronger every time. Thank you, Janine. I also wish to caution you that I will be depending on your continued support throughout the year. There are many challenges ahead as we, the Chamber, and the business community weather the storm COVID-19 has created. Most of us are faced with difficult constraints in business. Let us not forget the Chamber's mantra, where opportunity meets. I urge you to grab the opportunities the Chamber offers, and together we can weather this storm, its constraints, and those that may follow together. Our portfolio committees are one of those areas where you could find opportunity and make a difference in your industry. They are the vehicle through which the talent, voice, and energy of chamber members are enlisted, organized, and directed. Your participation ensures our organization will continue as a vigorous and vital force in the business community and remain the voice of business. I invite our members with the expertise in those fields to become members of our committees. The chamber and your industry needs you. During the last few months, 2 additional board subcommittees have been convoked and have had their first meetings. They are the Social and Ethics Committee, chaired by Jeremy Marilia, with a purpose to compile the Chamber's social and ethics policy and guide compliance on social and ethic issues. They have developed a draft ethics policy, which will be tabled at the March board meeting for adoption. The second is the Constitutional Review Committee, chaired by Darren Brigg, whom have started the mammoth task of addressing the issues raised by the board and that of the vetting committee towards the end of last year. Their mandate is to have an updated version incorporating both the Chamber's Act of Parliament, the principles of King 5 and the Companies Act as the basis of the new constitution, ready for review by council before the next AGM. The assistance of fellow council members will be called upon from time to time, and I thank the committee for the time they will be committing willingly and freely. We have a strategic priority to increase the Chamber's revenue streams, and a strategic session will be called within the next month. I invite you to send your ideas and suggestions onto our Executive Director, Mr. Sid Paymer. Your participation will be greatly appreciated. Having worked with Sid, the managers, and the Secretariat, I know that the Chamber values of drive, integrity, respect, innovation, and trust is well embedded, and I'm looking forward to working with you, Sid, the management team, and the staff of the Chamber this coming year. The Chamber has remained contemporary and relevant with a wide range of services, including information, training, networking, trade facilitation, and robust advocacy on behalf of our members. I urge you as members to reach out to each other, participate in Chamber events, and grab your opportunity and make your voice known. The Cape Chamber is the voice of business. I wish you a successful 2021. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacques. We are certainly inspired and ready for your leadership along with the board for this new chapter in the Chamber's history. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, grab your popcorn and get ready. We'll now be entertained by an award-winning entertainer who will regale us with his unique blend of magic and sleight of hand. Greg Gelb, over to you, sir.
Thank you, thank you. Hello, everyone. Hello, my name is Greg. You know all of your names. Thank you so much for having me here. It is great. We've got some people in the studio. So guys, put up chairs. We're going to have some fun together. And if you guys are at home, you guys can watch, enjoy, pretend that we are here together. We are sharing in this time together. Right. So to begin, what I thought we would do is talk about routine. You know, with lockdown and everything, routine was very important for me. And so I found that if I had a routine for myself, that the rest of the day started off well. Now, there's a trick that I do every single morning. I do this trick, I then get out and I continue with my day, but I haven't done it yet, which is why, as I'm sure you can tell, I'm a little bit jittery because, you know, when you're out of our routine, it is a bit of a wobble. So I'm going to do it for you guys here right now. And generally what happens is, this is a trick that uses 2 pieces of white rope, you see. And people say, Greg, that's my name. They say, thank you for laughing, one person. No, it's good. We start low with the jokes and it builds up, and then like everything else just, anyway. I say, Greg, you know, we can't tell the difference with the ropes. So I've got a solution. I've got a white rope here and a red rope, right? A white rope and a red rope. Now, let's see, who do I have? The lady over here. No, you can stay. You're going to stay. I'm just going to talk with you. Can you say what your name is out loud for everyone?
Janine.
Janine, I've got a red rope here, lovely, bright, colorful red rope, and a very boring colored white rope. Right? They're the same size, but you must tell me which one do you want to use? The red one or the white one? It doesn't really matter, they're the same size.
The red one.
White it is. White it is, a good choice. I'm going to teach you guys how to tie a knot in a rope using rhyme, so you'll be able to tie knots in no time. You can tell I write my own lines. So it goes something like this. Here we go. Make a loop. No, let's try again. Here we go. Make a loop, pull it through, doesn't rhyme. Okay, so here is the knot. Now this is not an ordinary knot. This is a very special knot. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap the ropes up together. I'm going to say the magic words, which I must say silently. Right, so here we go. It's quicker in fast forward. Please make this work, please make this work, please make this work. And just like that, you'll see the knot jumped from the white rope to the red rope to a thunderous applause. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Right. Now, when people see this, they say, great, but this is not a real knot. And I say, yes, it's not a real knot. It's a magic knot. You see, because if it's a magic knot, what I can do is I can take the knot and I can just give it a blow, and I can actually move the knot over here. I can move the knot right over here if I want. I can move it off the rope, which is very easy to do, judging from all your reactions, you agree with me. The hard part though is putting the knot back on the rope. That is the challenge. That is really, this is where the years of work come in. Here we go. 1, 2, and just like that, the knot comes back onto the rope. Thank you, thank you. So please keep it for the very end. In fact, Janine, I've got some magical wiffle dust for you right over there. Stay where you are, but you're going to catch. Very nice. I got a little bit more because you're very far away and we need this to work. So what you're going to do, you're going to throw the dust onto the knot. Okay? Not onto me. It doesn't go well with my white shirt. Okay? So here we go. Do it now. Yeah, I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Amazing. You think it did nothing. You guys, you think it did nothing, but what that actually did, it actually caused the knot to become a sliding knot. I can move the knot all the way over here. In fact, Janine, the power of the breath is so powerful. With your mask on, blow on the knot. So natural. I could do it every day, eh? But what that has caused the knot to be fused onto the rope. Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, remember I said this is not an ordinary knot. This is in actual fact a very special knot right over there. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Lovely. Now, we've got something quite amazing here. I've got here, and we've got on the close-up camera, that's what us magicians call it. We've got 4 coins, American half dollars. Are people familiar with them? Are you guys familiar here in the studio with American half dollars? They've got JFK. I don't know if you can see that right over there. They got JFK on the face, I would say. So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4. That's in English. In Afrikaans, because we're ambidextrous here, we speak many languages. So here we go, Afrikaans, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? French, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And American, 1, another 1, another 1, and 1 more, and Roman numerals, my favorite, I, V. Right, so now we've covered everything. Now the coins are going to jump from hand to hand. I'm not sure, you looking at this camera? Coins are going to jump from hand to hand, right? Here comes the first one. Oh yes, magic. That was visible. We're going to do it invisibly, okay? So here we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 coins. Give it a squeeze. And you see now here, we still have 4 coins because we haven't said the magic word yet, you see. You got, and also because this one, I'm quite a stickler, this one has to be the right way. There we go. Here we go. The magic word is abracadabra. Here we go. Just like this. 1, 2, 3, abracadabra. So now we have 3 coins. And the other coin has actually jumped over here. Now, the first time I saw that, I too was completely shocked. I forgot to applaud. No, I don't want your pretty claps. Okay. Here we go. Coin number 2. Duh. This is the sound. Silver on silver. Okay. Here we go. Now this one, I'm telling you now, this one you won't see go, but you'll hear it go. You'll hear it go just like this. See, I told you you wouldn't see it go. Now there's 2, and here we have 2 right over there. It's jumped. Magic. Ta-da. Okay, but it's fine. It's fine. It's not a problem. See, we got here 2 coins there. These coins haven't traveled. These coins have here, just like this. Here we go. Now we've got 1 and 3 right over there that have now jumped across. And the last coin is going to be quite amazing. So here we go. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Janine, how many coins do I have in my hand here?
None.
Fantastic. Right? What I'm going to take the 1 coin here, give it a little blow. I can actually squeeze it so small it's invisible. Take a look there. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 coins right over there. For my final piece. Oh. No. We'll edit that now. We'll edit that. For my final piece. Oh. Okay. Well done. I've got something here. Right? Here we go. The world's hardest puzzle, the Rubik's Cube. The world's hardest puzzle, the Rubik's Cube. Does anyone here in studio know how to solve the Rubik's Cube? It's very difficult. Anyone at home? Do you guys know how to solve? Okay. There's people talking on Zoom in my ear. One person said to me that they can solve. It just goes to show how difficult it is actually to solve the Rubik's Cube. So I'll teach you guys very quick. It's 6 sides. The Rubik's Cube is 6 sides, and you basically mix it up this way, you mix it up this way. The whole point is to mix it up, and then you spend weeks and months and years trying to put it back together. That's just what it is, unless you know the secret, unless you know how to solve it like I do. And yeah, sorry to disappoint you, but I know the secret. I've shared with you guys here, right now, at the AGM, right? So I'm glad that you guys have hung around this far, because I'm going to share with you the secret, then we're going to do the raffle at the end, and you don't want to miss that. So this is how you solve a Rubik's Cube. You mix it up, and then you peel off the stickers, and you put it I practiced this earlier, and you can see there, my nail got caught there. I don't know if you can see that, it got caught there, yeah, and it is a challenge, but you could just drop it on the floor and then put it back together, but that's Rubik's Cube takes 20 moves to solve, 43 quintillion ways to mix it up, right? This is a cube that's completely solved. All 6 sides is completely solved. This is a cube that's 1 move away, 2 moves away, 3 moves away, 4 moves away, and the more twists and turns you take, the further away the cube gets from being solved. Until you actually have no idea whether you're coming or going. You can't tell if you're Arthur or Martha. You can't even tell your donkey from your elbow, because we've got kids. But I want us to imagine that this cube is not 20 moves away. Let's imagine it's only 18 moves away. Okay? So I want you guys to put your eyes on the patterns. Don't take your eyes off. If you blink, you'll miss. I'm going to be pointing to your camera. If you blink, you'll miss. But imagine what the cube will look like. When we solve this in our mind, imagine what the cube will look like when it's only 10 moves away from being solved. Imagine when it's just 5 moves away from being solved. Imagine when it's 1 move away, when it's completely solved with something like this, every single side. Thank you. Now, what I'm going to try and do now. Ordinarily, I would give the cube out to someone to mix it up, and then I'll solve it, but it's going to take way too long. So, and also with COVID, unfortunately, we're not going to be doing that. But fear not. I'm going to have a couple of guys in the audience just shout out to me very quickly. Janine, we'll start with you, because I know your name.
Yes.
And I love the outfit.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So here we go. Janine, do you want me to turn it this way or this way?
That's right.
This way.
Yes.
Okay, cool. You just tell me stop.
Stop.
Okay, cool. And now I'm going to do the top. Must I turn it this way Or the other way?
Other way.
This way.
Yes.
Okay, you just tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay, now we're going to do the side here. Just
Stop.
Stop. And here.
Stop.
Okay, cool. And here.
Stop.
Okay, cool. And here.
Stop.
Great. And here.
Stop.
Okay, cool. And here. I'm just going to.
Stop.
Okay, cool. Right. That's completely mixed up. Okay. Now I'm going to put the cube in the bag, and when the cube comes out the bag, it's going to be solved. So thunderous applause, thunder and lightning. Okay. Abracadabs. Okay, fine, I'm cheating. Come on. It's magic, it's not wizardry. Okay, but that was okay, that wasn't real. That wasn't real. But I feel I've just met a lot of you guys. I've just learned about the AGM, and I feel that I've connected with a lot of you guys. So I want you guys at home to play along as well, but I'm going to ask the gentleman over here with the blue, very nice tie. What's your name, sir?
Peter.
Peter. We're going to do the same thing what Janine did. Right? We're going to mix up the cube again, and I'm not going to use the bag this time. I'm not going to solve it with the bag because that's cheating. Okay. And everyone at home, I want you guys to imagine that you were mixing up the cube as well. If you have a cube, bring it out, mix it as well, we'll solve it. Yeah, here we go. Peter? Just tell me when to stop. Stop. Over there, and here we're going to, I'm looking at you. We're going to go this way. Stop. Over there, we're going to go this way. Wait, this way, yeah, goes. Stop. Over there, and this way. Stop. Over there, great. Stop. Over there. I'm going to go a little bit more because I really want you guys to think that this is a... Stop. Okay, cool. And there's no monitor here or anything here. No. Stop. Stop. Over there, and here we're going to say last time. Stop. Over there, fantastic. The cube is really mixed up. Yep. Right? Now, Peter, I just met you before, right? I just met you. So now we don't know, there's no way we could have rehearsed this, right? Right? Sure. Good. Quite right. We're going to solve the cube that you just mixed up. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Abracadabra. Cube is now solved. Yeah. I didn't tell you what the solution was going to be this time. You see, Peter, you mixed up the cube, right? And Janine, you mixed up the cube, right? Now, how cool is this, right? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Watch. Watch here. In actual fact here, one side of yours matches. One side would be great. Two sides would be spectacular. Three sides would be even spectacular. 4 sides, 5 sides, 6 sides, all 6 sides that you guys mixed up completely solved together. Give them all a big round of applause. And I said to them I would solve the cube anyway, so I'm going to give it a couple mix-ups here, right? Here we go, a little mix-up here, and here we go. Here we go. That's not solved, right? The cube that you told me to mix up, Peter, just like this. Every single side there is completely solved, and there you have it. And I don't think I can stop that. Really quick. I joked when I said that that was my last one. I wanted you guys to wait around. I got one more quick cool one to share with you guys, and we're going to have the gentleman over there to help me. Can you say your name out loud, everyone, because they can't see you? Sid. Sid. This is Sid. Sid. Greg, Sid. Lovely. Sid, I have something for you here. I kept it right here. Do you know what this is? It's an invisible pack of playing cards. Have you seen one of these before, Sid?
You can't.
Exactly. Not many people have seen that. Well, yeah, very good, very good. I'm going to throw it to you. You're going to catch it, right? There you go. Fantastic. Now, I want you to take the cards out of the box, shuffle the cards, mix them up. Fantastic. And I want you to go to someone here who you're comfortable to approach. I want you to ask them to pick a card. Jock, you're going to pick a card. Jock, and I'm going to turn around. It's an invisible pack of playing cards. So the people at home, Sid is holding nothing, and he's actually going around doing this. Right? Jock is holding nothing, and he's holding this. Okay? But Jock, I'm going to turn around. You've got a playing card now. I don't want you to say it's a joker or an ace of spades, queen of hearts, because those are very easy cards, very common cards. King of hearts also very easy. And then at the end, people can be like, oh yeah, because it's everyone I thought of it, right? So if you do have one of those cards, just change it. I'm going to turn around. You tell me when I can look. I don't want to pee. I don't want to pee. Okay, are you done? I am. Okay, great. Right. So take the card back. Put it in the wrong way round. Okay. Great. Fantastic. Shuffle the cards up. Put them back in the box. And close up the box. Throw it. Throw it. And no, it's fine. It's fine. We all can't throw this straight all the time. Okay, fantastic, guys. Thank you so much for helping. Jacques, you have a card in mind. I have here for the finale a mysterious red envelope. Why is it mysterious, you guys are asking?
Do tell.
No, just me. Okay, no, cool, fine. It's mysterious because I have another red envelope.
Ah.
This is also mysterious because I've got the word mysterious on it. But inside here, there is a pack of cards. Right? Now, Jacques, for the first time, right, Sid, we had a bit of fun at your expense, and that's fine. Right? And we walked around. Jacques, you picked a card. You can change your mind. Or you can change if you want. At the end, when everyone is switching off and you guys are driving home, you're going to say, oh, no, I should have changed my mind. Right? But if you don't want to, you can keep it whatever you want. Are you going to keep or are you going to change? Keep. What is the name of the card?
7 times.
Okay, maybe change 7 of diamonds. Inside here, there should be one card that's the wrong way around. And that is the 7 of diamonds. Thank you. No. I told you I've got a weak ending. Okay, here we go. Okay. Here we go here. There's one card here. You shuffle quite close to the top. One card here that is the wrong way around.
Come on.
That's the 7 of diamonds. You guys have all been amazing. Thank you to the studio audience. You guys have been amazing. See you guys soon. Thank you very much.
Greg, thank you for the laughs and for the magic. Sometimes we need to be reminded that absolutely anything is possible. It just depends on your perspective. To our Zoom control, do we have any questions?
No questions.
Okay, we have no questions. Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, it's now time for the lucky draw. Dave, drum roll, please.
You want me to pull? Okay.
No, Dave. It's time for the real draw.
No, I think our esteemed financial guru, Mr. Sibuganka, should be doing the honors on this.
Wait. Before I draw this number, let's check out this awesome eco-friendly hamper that was sponsored by one of our members, Fire and Ash Marketing. Whoop, whoop. Let's do that draw quickly.
Don't look.
No.
Okay. All right. And the winning number is, and Zoom control, I'm going to ask you to peel your eyes to the screen. Will the person with the magic number A29 hold up your winning card to your webcam? I'll wait for Zoom control room to tell us if we have a winner. Do we have a winner?
That lucky number.
Okay, we have a winner. The name is on the way.
Thank you so much. Waiting in anticipation. I think we need another drum roll. Thank you so much. And the winner is Bridget van der Merwe. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Bridget, we'll make sure that your prize is delivered to you as soon as possible. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. It was Arthur C. Clarke that said, Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to all those that were involved in making this event magical. Who would have thought that we could host such a fantastic event digitally? To our members, our council, our board, our staff, and our honored guests, thank you for engaging with us this afternoon and continuing to make the Chamber a beacon of hope and innovation. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.